I was seconds away from calling the police when my own family told me to stop. My name is Alex. I'm 23 years old. I live on my own, work nearby, and keep my life pretty simple. I don't look for conflict. I don't enjoy drama. Most days, I just go to work, grab lunch, and go home. That's why I never expected lunch to be the thing that turned my family against me. Because one night, after a family dinner, I walked outside, and my bike was gone. My only way to get around. Stolen. And when I said I was calling the police, no one asked who did it. They just told me not to, because the person responsible was my sister. If you enjoy calm, real stories, where actions actually have consequences, you might want to stick around. This all started over something so small, so harmless, that I still struggle to explain it without shaking my head. Lunch. That's it. Lunch. I work near a hospital, and a few days a week, I eat in their cafeteria. Not because I have to, not because I'm sick, but because it's quiet, clean, affordable, and honestly, peaceful. I'm 23 years old. I live on my own. I pay my own bills. And this was one of those small routines that made my day feel manageable. Then my sister found out. She didn't ask questions. She didn't try to understand. She immediately decided I was doing something wrong. She told me that hospital food was only for people who actually needed to be there. That I was selfish. That I was taking resources from patients. I tried to explain calmly that the cafeteria is open to the public. That I wasn't taking anything from anyone. That people eat there all the time. She didn't listen. Instead, she did what she's always done. When she doesn't get her way, she went to our parents. And just like that, I was outnumbered. My parents didn't hesitate. They sided with her instantly. They called me. They lectured me. They demanded I stop eating there. It wasn't a discussion. It was an order. What bothered me most wasn't the cafeteria itself. It was how familiar this felt. Growing up, my sister was always defended, always excused, always protected from consequences. And I was always expected to just deal with it. This time, I didn't. I reminded them that I don't live under their roof anymore. That this kind of behavior was exactly why I moved out in the first place. That only made them angrier. Days went by with constant messages, calls, guilt trips. So I did something different. I asked strangers for perspective, and the response was overwhelming. Not only was I not doing anything wrong, but people explained that hospital cafeterias are commonly used by workers, visitors, and nearby residents. It should have ended there. It didn't. A few days later, my sister called me directly. She asked if I'd stopped eating at the hospital. I said no, and everything exploded again. My parents called, furious, as if I'd broken some unspoken rule, as if I'd betrayed them. That's when other family members got involved. My sister tried to rally support. She wanted people on her side. She wanted pressure. Instead, she got pushback. My uncle told my parents the truth, that they were playing favorites, that they always had, and that they were wrong. A cousin even started eating at the same hospital cafeteria, out of pure principle. That embarrassed my parents enough that they finally backed down. They apologized. Awkwardly, unconvincingly. They made my sister apologize too. She did, through clenched teeth, every word forced. I thought that was the end. I was wrong. A few days later, my parents invited me over for dinner. They made a big show of it, told everyone, posted about it. The food was great. Turkey, gravy, comfort food. My sister kept giggling during dinner. I didn't think much of it. That was my mistake. After we ate, I went outside to grab my bike. It wasn't there. The space where I left it was empty. My stomach dropped. That bike was my transportation, my independence. I went back inside, trying to keep my voice steady. Asked if anyone had seen it. My sister was smiling. That's when I knew. She denied it, of course. Acted offended. Played the victim. My parents immediately defended her again. I said I'd check the neighbor's cameras and call the police. Her smile vanished. She panicked. And suddenly, the truth came spilling out. She'd had her friends take my bike during dinner. As revenge, my parents tried to stop me from calling the police. Said I couldn't do that to my own sister. I started dialing anyway. That's when they finally snapped out of it. They made her call her friends. It took an hour of silence, of her crying, of my parents realizing what they'd enabled. When the van finally arrived, my bike was soaked, covered in mud. Her friends admitted everything. She told them to dump it in a pond. That was the breaking point. My parents didn't defend her this time. They confronted her hard. She collapsed into a screaming tantrum, kicking, crying. An adult woman, unraveling like a child. Her friends were banned from the house. She was forced to clean and repair my bike. Under supervision, I watched quietly, not with satisfaction, with exhaustion. That night, my father drove me home in silence, handed me money to replace what was lost. No excuses, no lectures, just silence. Word spread. At her college, among her friends, people didn't see her as the victim she tried to portray. They saw a bike thief, and she couldn't handle it. She locked herself in her room. For days, my parents called me again, tried to shift blame. I didn't let them. I reminded them that she's an adult, that consequences aren't cruelty. They finally listened, or at least stopped arguing. I don't feel victorious. I feel relieved, because, for the first time, I didn't fold. I didn't absorb the blame. I didn't shrink myself to protect someone else's feelings. And the world didn't end. Sometimes, the hardest thing isn't standing up to the person hurting you. It's standing firm when everyone expects you to stay quiet. My sister avoids me now, so does her clique. And honestly, that's fine. I don't want drama. I want peace. But if this ever happens again, I won't hesitate. Because silence isn't kindness. And enabling isn't love. Let me know in the comments what you would have done in my place. And if you're still listening, thanks for staying until the end.